Hi, and welcome to day 71 of 365 Days of Art. I have an acrylic pour sitting on the easel behind me. It is all ready to go. So I've been trying oils over acrylics. I've been liking it so far. So I thought I would do the same thing. I've already got a sketch up on my board of what I want to paint. I just haven't decided if I'm sticking with the outline thing or if I might fill in the figure a little bit more. We'll see as we go. I'll probably do a voiceover after I finish painting so you guys can kind of figure out what I was thinking during the process for this video. That being said, there's not a lot else that I need to inform you guys about. Let's paint. Here we go, getting started. Like I said before, I already have the figure that I'm going to be drawing on the canvas. So what I like to do is I take tracing paper, I do all my erasing and sketching on there until I'm happy with it. I use tracing paper so that I can hold it up to my canvas and still position it where I want. Like for this, I really wanted her head to be close to that top spurt of color because I really wanted it to feel like that power was emanating from her. I do that, and then all you need is graphite transfer paper. You can overlay it, put it on there, and just using like a ball stylus, you trace over what you've done and just transfer it there. I used white because the background was black and it was the easiest to see. In these first layers, all I'm doing is using different colors and kind of filling her in. I wasn't sure that I wanted to color her in all the way, but after I started to put in the blue lines, I was just vibing on this kind of impressionistic take on the whole thing. So that's where I really wanted to start playing with bolder lines and filling it in all the way. And that black's not very interesting. Usually if I do an outline on something, it's because I really want to see what's behind it. And here, all the interest is happening at her feet and kind of emanating around the top of her. So I think it just works better to fill her in. I'm using 3 primary colors on this piece, and right now here you can see where I thought I was gonna kind of shade in her face. I paint completely over that later. I was just trying to be careful of my lines. I put them there, but they're really just guidelines and to help remind me to keep my proportions correct. You can see that dark color at the bottom, and that's the last color really that I'm going to use on this piece. I'll kind of lighten it up maybe a little bit with some titanium white later, but those are pretty much the 3 solid colors, and I was just trying to block them in where they need to go, get in the basic idea of all the different colors everywhere, and then softly blend them together, which I am loving oils. I've been trying to do this with acrylics, and the problem is they dry so fast that you can't really blend them, whereas here, even though I did all that outline, and you can see where I smudged it on the side because of that, so it's the danger of the paint not drying, but that's why you're able to blend it and just put in blocks of color and then kind of do them together. I'm going to show you here in just a second how to take that back off. No use crying over it, so I just took a clean brush, dipped it in my paint thinner, and I'm just very carefully cleaning up the edges there. And it's easy enough to put color back on the canvas. See? No point in getting upset over mistakes. I'm just gonna have to watch it because I know my hands get tired. So that makes it a bit difficult for me to not rest them on the canvas, but I need to be really strategic if I'm using oil so I don't smudge it. Once again working on her face, and I'm just trying to save and make sure I know where the eyes and the lips are, having kind of those 2 key features and a rough idea of the nose. That gives me enough of something to follow. Now she just looks a little bit scary. I'm trying with the different colors to show where the shadows are and the highlights are, and you'll notice that even though I started out the beginning of it by outlining everything in that basic blue color that I'm using, I'm going through and I'm letting edges soften. I'm letting the dark colors create an edge, or I'm letting the lighter color create an edge, and that's because if you don't want something to look cartoony, then you don't want to outline it. That's the immediate way to make something have a more illustrated, cartoony feel, which is not bad if that's what you're going for. But that's how that happens. If you're looking at something and you're maybe going for a softer, more realistic, or even impressionistic look, then stay away from outlining everything, or be prepared to blend those edges. Just doing that, I promise, will take your pictures to the next level. Always be subtle with the nose. Noses don't really have any hard lines, and that's what I really liked about how the oils blended. I still can't decide if I want to continue forward and keep trying to do things all in one sitting and playing with how you can layer the different oils depending on how much linseed oil you're adding to it. So the more linseed oil, so I started off with just straight oil paints, and then by adding the linseed oil near the end here is how I got the smoother, softer lines, and that did seem to stick to the oil paint itself a little bit better, but I also feel like it would just be easier if I let it dry, but oils take forever to dry. Oh, I need more patience. We're almost done. This is where all the little details come in at the end, so I'm just adding a little bit of highlight. I want to make sure again that her eyes really pop. Coming in now with some black. I still didn't want to do straight black, so it's actually black mixed with that green color, about half and half. And that's just because normally straight black or straight white can be a little jarring in a painting. But here we go. She's all finished. I'm decently happy with her. I enjoy it quite a bit. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments, and I'll check in with you tomorrow. All right, bye.